I have a image here. I also have my outside thing on its own border layer. Okay, that's important because when I bring it into the next program, I need to know what's the engraving and I need to know what's the actual border. So I'm just going to go into VCarve. It's a program that we're going to use to carve these things out. We're going to create a new file, and our width here, if you are going portrait, is 6 inches. If you're going landscape, it's going to be 8. So it's 6 and 8. The thickness, 0.125, and it's inches. And we want our 0, 0 point to be down in the corner here. Okay, that's important as well. Let's hit OK here. And the next step, I want to go File, Import a vector or bitmap, or sorry, a vector. The things that you guys made in AutoCAD were vectors. So we'll just go to the one that I'm looking at here, which is somewhere, students. Oh, I think I actually got a... All right, so there's my CNC plaque, and hopefully, if I click on it, it will come in there. And the line that we drew in AutoCAD is 6 by 8. This guy here didn't seem to actually hit 8 inches, so that's, if we just go back to here, we can probably do a quick measure and realize that they did 7.5 instead of a full 8. That's okay. So I have my pattern here. What I would like to do is I'm going to engrave this into Inventor. So before I do that, I want to just turn some layers off. I want to turn off the outside layer here. I don't actually want to engrave this guy here, so actually I'm just going to delete it, that outside line, because that will just, there we go. It's just like AutoCAD, you use your pick windows. I'm going to erase that inside line as well. This is the only thing I want up. I want these guys here all to be one line, like a polyline in AutoCAD. So I'm going to pick all of my engraving layers right there. I'm going to hit J on the keyboard, which does a thing called join. It says right now I have 16 open loops and I have 0 closed loops. As soon as I hit join, it will now all select as one big long line. That's important. We want the program to acknowledge it all as one line. I'm going to hit this little arrow over here. This is my drawing toolbar. I want to flip it over here to the toolpath toolbar, and I want to use this thing called quick engraving. Okay, so first I'm just going to select my engraving. I'm going to click quick engraving. I would like my depth to be 0.03, and the only thing I really have to do is hit calculate. Okay, I'll hit close. And I'm just going to do a little preview of what my thing is going to look like. So I'll just hit preview all toolpaths. There's my tool. And if I go on a bit of an angle, you can see now that it has engraved into there. Okay, yay, look at that. Okay, and you can see on this how your single line turns into that fat 1 millimeter line. You can see if you've gone too close anywhere, if it's actually going to touch where you don't want it to. This is a great preview to show you what you're actually going to get. Now, the next step that we want to do is go and do our cutout here. Okay, so it's not an engrave. I'm just going to go back to close, and I'm going to do a profile. Okay, profile. I'm going to click on that outside line. It's going to cut on the outside of that thing. And the tool that we're going to use is the 60-degree V-bit. It's the same thing that we're going to cut our engraving with. We hit OK, and it's on the video. You just watch the video. I'm just going to hit calculate. It says I'm going to go down. I'm glad this happened here. It says my material thickness is 1/8. It's going to go down 1 inch. If you come up with this error, it says tool will cut through material. You hit cancel and change your depth here to 0.125. I only want to cut through my material. I don't want to cut through the bed and everything else. So this way it's only going to cut through the material. This way when I hit calculate, nothing else actually happens. No warnings come up. And there we go. It has now cut a nice V around my thing there. I'm going to select all my toolpaths, and I'm going to preview all toolpaths So there's the first step there, and there's the second step there. And you can see this here. Now that material will fall out, and we will be left with this material here. Okay? Sure, I can do it as a slow-mo, so I'll just hit change my speed down, and I'm going to reset the preview, and there's my, oh, sorry, that's just the engraving tool. We'll just pause that. I think I have to play it out here. It's like a pencil, yeah, it really is. So I'll reset the preview. This time I'm going to pick all my tool paths, and I'll hit preview all tool paths. There's the engraving, and then there's the cutout. Why is that cutout so much slower than the engraving? Yeah, it's taking up more material, so I want to actually go a little bit slower. Okay, last step is to export our code. Okay, so vCarve will have made that G code for you. That little save icon right there, save toolpath. I'm going to pick the Piranha. That's the machine over here on the smaller machine. Or the other one, I could pick the Mach 2 3 ARCs. That would be the bigger machine over on the other side there, okay? If one machine is taken, you choose the other machine. Just know which one you're going to do. So in this case, I'll just do the inch. I would like to make sure that all output toolpaths in one file. If you don't, it will just do the engrave, or it'll just do the cutout. And then I want to pick all my paths. Save toolpath. You're going to save it into your M drive first, and then you're going to take it and put it onto a USB, and then you're going to walk over to the machine and load it up to the USB. You're going to save it with your name, Hayes, and then you're going to go CNC Plaque. Okay, do not just save it as CNC Plaque, because everyone will save it as CNC Plaque. Put your name on there, save it to your M drive, and then there you go. Okay, you're going to copy and paste it from your M drive right there. We'll just copy that guy and then paste it into your USB, which should show up as probably D Lexar or something like that. All right? Just like that. And then you can start milling.